Good afternoon, everyone. Today's gospel invites us into what we are facing and where we are. The theme of the gospel is the Father invited all the guests for his son's wedding banquet. We are the guests, and Jesus Christ is the groom, and we are brides. But there are not many guests in his royal court. This situation is exactly what we are facing. Today's topic I want to share with you is the atheism and its effects. In what way the contemporary people are not interested in the wedding banquet, where we are all invited yet reject. Atheism literally is a pandemic disease. It is a universal phenomenon, especially throughout the young generations. And we are encountering in our family, in our society, in our nations, in the whole world, we are encountering the systematic atheism and personal atheism that are smuggled in our system and our human minds. We need to be educated the effects of the atheism, in what way this atheism is affecting humanity. Atheism is basically the ideas when humanity began to appreciate the reason over religion. The humanity began to ponder upon our religion and our faith from the opposite side that is different from our faith, in the name that faith blinds us. So the first theme for the atheist, they basically deny the hiddenness of God. If God is apparently there, then there's no need for God to hide himself from us. Due to this hiddenness, the mysterious God constantly delivered and described by the church, the God has lost. That's why humanity enjoys having many gods and goddesses. Secondly, Freud talks about religion as the synonym to neurosis. Neurosis is regarding the little child within us, still ungrown, and of being afraid of the adult world. And we have a hard time handling the authority figures and tough society. That's basically what the religion neurosis is about. And in religion, we want to create from our reason the God who has to be generous so that our infantile reality can be still understood and embraced and forgiven. This is human illusion. In a sense, that is not too bad, because we see unhealthy practice in our religious society. Thirdly, in brain science, religious experiences and brain phenomena, the science of brain, they share the same brain in the central lobe of our brain, was being experienced through the religious phenomena. For example, let's say in Lourdes, in Fatima, they say some people encountered Mary. And this can be proved by scientists that a certain part of the brain is, if that was touched, then you have this visual hallucination, an auditory hallucination that makes you confused with the real God's voice and self-generated voice. So all the mystical experiences done by our saints, they can be interpreted from self-brain generated phenomena, not the supernatural reality constantly affecting us. That is very strong and convincing to young generation. And fourthly, we all have these questions. Why bad things happen to good people? If God was good, then how come these bad things happen to me and to our loved ones, especially to the angelic people we want to respect? How come this apparent badness is still powerfully predominant, yet we cannot eliminate those people? Apparently, this atheistic mind has been heavily influential over past couple centuries, and religion has been minimized and shrunk in this size, and we are predicting that the church will be half downsized in 5 years. Now the question is again, we believe in God, not the idol, not the deadened God. We believe that God is living with us and exercising His power through us. And we claim that we are the body of God. Today, I want to make a point. Okay, we can discuss things with atheists and probably secularists. We can discuss things with them. But this atheist and secularist, the important thing they do not know, the effects of atheism. We need to think about it seriously. I had a deep conversation with a gentleman who escaped from North Korea. He was born in concentration camp where his parents were humiliated. And from there, the only thing he learned was by giving his loyal heart to the dictator Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and his son Kim Jong-un. And all the kids who were raised in that concentration camp environment, they never had a chance to learn what the love was about. All the kids and all the people in that concentration camp, they are ready to betray their own parents and children in the name of the comrade, the greatest leader, Kim Jong-un now. When he reached the age of 20, he began to feel a heart beating on a girl. And this feeling, he never had it. How come I want to be a servant of this girl? I want to give good things to this girl. How come these feelings are happening? The love he never learned, his heart began to scream that I want to serve this girl. And that made him decide to escape from North Korea. The only country hidden behind the Iron Curtain. This communism is the child of atheism. When humanity began to talk about the death of God, the consequence was the rising of the totalitarianism and atheism. Hitler, in the name of altered God. Stalin, Mao, Kim Il-sung. They are the children of the atheism. And the communism has given birth to the deprivation of human dignity and human rights. They use violence to achieve their own goal. And they annihilate the religion. As a result, human rights are entirely deprived in North Korea and in other countries where the communism is God. We are living in this world. Probably this communist mind is smuggled in this advanced country, the Western country, the first world country. In the working place, young generation find that, Father, the teachings of the church, they are too weak for me to hold on to. Because in this job world, in this hedge fund company, what I need is showing my outcome by competing with my colleagues. I need to step and trample down them to rise. And it's a cruel working environment. And friends betray each other over their money and their success. This is the communist mind in capitalism. And they say, Jesus teaches, forgive. I cannot do that. That's why young generation, they leave our precious faith behind. The world outside, that is very tempting. The world where our children, our beloved children are living, and actually we are living, and we've been through. It is a cruel world. And now it's a shame if you wanted to show your loyal faith with your friends out in the secular world. They ridicule us. The cross and the faith in the college, in the job world, in amongst our friendship, they are mockery. In my psychoanalytic training, eventually they knew that I was a Jesuit priest, and they all ridiculed me. Do such people still exist? Yes. 2,000 years ago, when the Jerusalem temple was destroyed, and exactly after 10 to 20 years, the Christianity began to be rejected by their Jewish brothers. And they were kicked out of the Judaic social security system and moved out to Greek world and Roman world, from where they encountered the temples and gods, luxurious enough and grandiose enough, in comparison with their own Yahweh in such a poor, humble Jerusalem temple. The temple, they believed that was the center of the world and greatest one in the whole world. But outside of Jerusalem, they experienced the temple was such an humble and cheap one. Besides, the leaders of their own race, they did not want to protect their own people. Christian Jews, they began to invite Gentiles to the wedding banquet. They struggled over 300 years. And in the year 313, when the Emperor Constantine won over Rome, Christians were the major soldiers in support of this emperor, and persecution finally was over. This humble and, in a sense, cheap-looking Christianity, after 300 years of struggle, we won over, and we are descendants of their faith. In this contemporary time, our faith is again being challenged, and we need to be educated why we need to hold on to this faith and why we need to still share this precious faith with our loved ones. That is to prevent from humanity being deprived again. The ancestor of this violence is atheism. Atheism only leads us to nihilism and violence. Our heart is made by God. In this heart, we naturally have the feelings for others, the love for others. Our heart belongs to Jesus Christ.